Hello, and welcome back to Reading with Mo. It has been quite some time since I have spoken with you guys. I have so many things I've been just wanting and dying to update you on. I did not mean to disappear for months, as I say this every time, so we can just skip this whole spiel. I have had a lot going on over the last few months. You may see that there is a big difference in the background of my video today. There are practically no books on my shelves, and that is because I am currently packing them up. You can't really see, but there's a couple boxes behind me. I've started packing my books because I wanted to know how many boxes that I'm going to need to fit them in. And the funny thing is, I'm probably about to take them all back out of the boxes again because I decided that I'm going to try to ship my books instead of whatever I was planning on doing before, but we'll see. That's besides the point. Today, this is a tag video, but I'm also going to kind of incorporate a little bit of an update into the video as well. I recently got engaged, so that has been a big thing that has taken up a lot of time lately, and I have not been making any videos because I am also currently planning a cross-country move. When exactly, I don't know. I know it's going to be most likely in January, but nothing is set in stone yet. So I'm just trying to get a head start on the million things I'm going to need to do. So today we are going to be starting my return, hopefully, back to this channel with a tag video, something nice and easy that I can also update you guys on my reading. My reading's been going really well this year. So I'm going to answer the tag questions first, and then at the end, I'll go ahead and include just some other bookish updates if none of these questions kind of touch on everything that I wanted to update on in this video. Question number one is, are there any books that you started this year that you need to finish? So most of these books that I'm going to talk about, maybe I'm going to probably have to just show pictures of, because as you can see clearly, almost every book except this tiny little section of books that I'm attempting to read by the end of the year are all packed away. But there are 3 books actually that have been sitting on my currently reading for months now. I'm going to grab them and I'll show you guys what they are. These 3 specific books, although as I mentioned, I'm trying to read all the books on this little section here that have just been sitting there. I actually started this one last year, and that is Black England, a nonfiction book, A Forgotten Georgian History by Gretchen Gerzina. This book I am about 50 pages into. Actually, I guess I just realized what all 3 of these have in common is they're nonfiction, which I have a bad habit of picking up nonfiction books and not finishing them, or just taking forever. Even if I am enjoying them, I don't know what it is. I think because fiction kind of just motivates me to keep going, whereas nonfiction, I'm like, I'll get to it when I get to it. We have Chernobyl Prayer by Svetlana Alexievich. This book has made me cry multiple times. This is all about the Chernobyl explosion and the aftermath of that. This one I am currently 24 pages into. And then lastly, we have All Things Austen and A Concise Encyclopedia of Austen's World by Kristen Olsen. This one here for this one, I am 62 pages in. Where I'm at with these books is I would like to finish them by the end of the year. I just don't think I can make any promises that that's going to happen, but I'm going to do my absolute best to get to these 3, as well as the rest of the books over here, which maybe I'll show you guys in another video. But if you, kind of a slight update, watched my video I posted 4 months ago getting rid of all my books because I knew I was going to be moving in preparation of moving, and I gave away like 100 more books. I planned on documenting that process a bit more because at the time I had like, I want to say around 600 books at the beginning of the year, and I knew I wanted to try my hardest to get my collection down to about 300. And I'm actually really close. Right now, I think I'm at about 336. So I may be able to get rid of a few more, but I don't think I'm gonna get down to my goal of 300. I had meant to record it and like document the whole process, but with everything that I just had going on in the last few months, I just did not have the time or motivation. When I was working on these projects, it would just be like random, and when I had the energy, I didn't really want to stop and record. But yeah, that project has been quite successful. I had this whole shelf right here was filled with books that I had mentioned if I don't read them by the end of the year, I have to get rid of them. And I have been very, very successful. I meant to vlog reading all that stuff and I was terrible and didn't. I wish I had. But yeah, those books that are there are all that's left from that original video that I had made. I think I did record like one vlog from the beginning If I have the mental capacity, I will try to go back and put together those clips, and you guys can at least see a little portion of how I was doing with that. And then I just got really motivated and I just powered through. So yeah, that's where we're at for now. Question number 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I don't believe I do. Even looking at the books that I have on this shelf here, none of them really scream autumn to me. But typically at the end of the year, I kind of just read whatever. I'm such a mood reader right now, and I have no problem DNFing or putting down a book. So that is something that's working in my favor and what really helped me to get rid of a lot of books the last few months. Question number 3 is there a new release that you're still waiting for? So as of right now, there's only about 6 months left in the year, so there's not a lot of new releases, but let me check my phone and see if there's anything that hasn't come out yet that I want to read. I'm really bummed that I didn't keep up with posting my most anticipated reads video for the last 3 months of the year. I usually have been pretty consistent at posting one every 3 months, and I did not. But there are a few books still about to come out for the rest of the year that are on my radar, and I'll just share them briefly here. There's nothing too crazy. There aren't very many. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 books that are coming out the rest of the year that have piqued my interest. So the first one comes out on Tuesday, November 19th, and that is probably going to be, I feel like, one of the last really big book releases of the year, because it's Haruki Murakami's new book, which I haven't read any books by this author, and I'm kind of thinking about just jumping in with the new release because, I don't know, I just never have been super intrigued to pick up his books. I always just figured like maybe one day, and I've been hearing so many mixed opinions on them lately and a lot of discourse surrounding it that I haven't been the most interested in picking up Haruki's books, but I am interested in picking up this one mainly because it has to do with libraries. The other book coming out in November is Daughters of Bronze, a novel of Troy by A.D. Rhine. This is a retelling of the story of Troy. I am still into Greek mythology books. That love has not died out for me yet, even though I haven't really read a lot recently. There's still something that have piqued my interest. And there's 4 books that are coming out in the month of December that I'm interested in picking up. The first one is a book in translation called Apartment Women by Chiyoung Kim, is a translator, but the author is Gu Byung Mo. This follows the stories of 4 women whose lives intersect in dramatic and unexpected ways at a government-run apartment complex outside Seoul. Then we have another Greek mythology book, and it's actually a sequel. It's called The Voyage Home by Pat Barker. This is the 3rd installment in the Women of Troy series. I've read the first one years ago when it first came out. I want to reread it and then continue on so I can read this whole series. So obviously I won't really be probably reading that one in the next few months until I read the first 2. And then we have Untethered by Angela Jackson Brown. I really, really love the cover on this one. I just think it is so perfect. This book takes place in Alabama in 1967. We're following the story of a woman who is torn between what she wants to do in her heart and the responsibilities that she's had to carry. She nurtures young boys at the Pike County Group Home for Negro Boys, but a romantic entanglement with an older man brings comfort but also stirs questions about the path she's chosen. Then lastly, we have What It's Like in Words, which I actually do have an advanced copy sitting in this pile over there. So this one is for sure one that I will read before the year is up. What It's Like in Words by Eliza Moss is the author's debut novel, and it's following the story of Nola, who is 30 and everything feels like a lot. It's a dark, intense, and compelling account of what happens when a young woman falls in love with the wrong kind of man. So yes, those are the new releases that I am looking forward to before the year's up. We have question number 4. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? So, like I said, I'll mention these books probably maybe in like a December TBR video or something. So let's talk about 3 other books that I want to read before the end of the year. Also, I'm just kind of lazy and I don't even want to pick up some books that are over there right now. I won't mention anything I'm currently reading. I'll mention what I'm currently reading at the end of this video. But I do have some holds on things at my library that I know I will get to by the end of the year. I power through at least like 2 audiobooks a week. So it'll be easy for me to do these. I have Paula Hawkins' new book, the author of The Girl on the Train, and it's called The Blue Hour, which I love listening to mystery thriller books on audiobooks. They just do something for me. I also have a couple of short novellas. I have Emma Rio's book, Graveyard Shift. And then I'm on hold for The Night Guest by Hildur Notstoder. Both of these are only like 3-4 hours, so I'll get through them very quickly. I have a couple other mystery thriller books as well that I can check out from my library possibly and see. We have The Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rekulak, Run by Blake Crouch, She's Always Hungry by Eliza Clark, and James by Percival Everett. So these are more than 3 books, but these are all books that I would like to listen to before the year's over. But I actually think James, my hold is not going to come through for that one before the end of the year. Question number 5 is there a book that you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I think maybe. Honestly, any of these could shock me. A lot of these books are on this shelf because I know that I don't want to hold on to them if I don't like them and I'm moving, so that kind of puts a little bit lower expectations for me because they're not the books that I'm the most excited to. I just want to like read them, so I'm not carrying them across the country with me on my move. Any of the ones that I've mentioned so far in this video could honestly shock me and become a new favorite of the year, maybe even the book that I'm currently reading right now, which I will share momentarily. And then the last question, number 6, is have you already started making reading plans for 2025? I have, and so far it's only been plans in my head. I haven't written anything down or done anything, but what I can share is I did order a reading journal. I purchased this reading journal I pre-ordered it maybe like a month ago, and I think it should be shipping out within the next month or so, so that'll be nice. I can start filling that out and start really like setting in plans for my reading for next year. I mean, I'm not someone who like overly plans my reading anyway, but more so I just want to be able to like keep track of my reading physically more next year. I'll share more about this reading journal once I actually get it in the mail, maybe do like a little unboxing and stuff. It's really cute and I'm very excited to use it. I'm trying to think what I want to set my Goodreads goal at for next year. So this year I set it to 100 books and I'm doing really well so far. I actually think I'm a little bit ahead right now. Let me check on that so I can give you guys a Goodreads update. Yeah, right now I am currently at 89 of 100, which means I am 3 books ahead of schedule. So doing pretty well. For next year, I don't know if I want to set it to either 50 or 100. What's kind of making me debate whether or not is just because I know I have a lot going on next year with the move, new house, new city, being married, a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I don't really want to like overcommit myself, but at the same time, it's pretty easy for me to read 1 or 2 books a week, even just on audiobooks. So I may start with my goal at 50 and then bump it up to 100. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. As far as other goals for 2025, I definitely want to get my physical TBR down. I have made great progress on that this year because I have unhauled so many books and I have read a lot of the ones that are on my shelves. So right now, my unread books are at 115, which by the end of the year, I'm trying to get as close to 100 as possible. So next year I can for sure get into double digits. I would love to get my physical TBR down to say around like 50-ish books by the end of 2025. So that way I would end up reading about 50 books off my shelves and then 50 books that I either check out through my library or books that are just sent to me as ARCs and stuff like that. Those are all the book goals I want to share so far for 2025. I don't want to give you guys everything yet because I'm sure I will make a video at some point in a more official capacity talking about the books or my book plans for next year. So yeah, we'll save anything else for me to think on a little bit more before I share with you guys. So as far as the rest of my life updates, what have I read recently? Actually, what am I currently reading first? So start with that. I am currently listening to 2 audiobooks, and one of them I'm kind of going back and forth with physically as well. And I have received the arc for Sweetness in the Skin by Ishi Robinson. This book actually came out back in April. Unfortunately, just haven't had a chance to get to it until now, but I am enjoying it so far. We're following this 13-year-old girl. Her name's Pumpkin, and she lives in Kingston, Jamaica, and I'm really enjoying it. I am about 100 pages into this one so far, hoping to finish it up this week. The other audiobook that I'm listening to is a sequel, and that is... it's Gaslight by Femi Coyote. This is the sequel to Light Seekers. So we're following the same detective who's like on a missing persons case, and it takes place in Nigeria. And this one has to do with a like church bishop or pastor's wife who goes missing, and he's on the case trying to uncover what's going on. I am enjoying listening to this. I listened to Light Seekers maybe like a month ago, so I'm proud of myself for picking up the sequel pretty quickly and not like waiting forever like I usually do. I'm about halfway into this one. I may potentially even finish it tonight because as soon as I'm done recording this video, it's my hair wash day. I need to wash my hair before I head back out of town tomorrow, and luckily you guys can't see from where you're at, but there's a lot of dandruff on my scalp right now, so I'll have at least an hour or two to get a little bit further into this audiobook. So those are the two books that I'm like actively reading right now. There's more books that are on my Goodreads list that Show is currently reading, but this is my like really truthful official list of what I'm currently reading. I also wanted to share with you guys the last book that I gave a 5-star rating to. This year has been so sad. I have not given very many 5 stars at all this year out. I think in part because I was trying to read books, a lot of books off my shelves that I didn't want to carry with me on my move. It led me to picking up a lot of books that I maybe wasn't as into anymore, or I was just picking up a lot of books that have been sitting on my shelves for a while that I end up just thinking they were okay. So yeah, all that to say, I don't think I'm even going to end the year with like 10 5-star books, but that's okay. I am someone who is very stingy with my 5-star readings. But yeah, anyway, I want to share with you guys my last 5-star read, and that is This Motherless Land by Nikki May. I loved this book so much. I don't physically own it, so I'll just show you the copy here. I will buy it physically at some point, but most likely once I move, because I'm trying not to purchase more books right now that will lead me to having to transport them over to Florida. This Motherless Land I listened to on audiobook. It was so good. I listened to about a quarter of it a day. I didn't want to listen to it too fast because I was enjoying it so much. So yeah, it took me about 4 days to read. And this book, it took place in England and in Nigeria. It was so good. I'm not even going to go too much into it right now because I don't have my thoughts fully collected and I want to do this book full justice. So just know that I will be raving about this book in my favorite books I read in 2025 video whenever that comes out. So I think that's everything that I wanted to share with you guys today in this video. I think maybe I'll do like a Q&A at some point in the next few months. Probably not like in the next couple weeks, but with everything I have going on, but I would love to do a Q&A after the move. Maybe would be fun. I'm really excited to share with you guys what my shelves are going to look like in my new place. I'm not even going to talk about it now because it's not set. We're still deciding what we're going to do with the shelves, but I'm just so excited because I am going to be ditching the Billy bookshelves for now. Well, let me not curse myself because maybe somehow they'll be incorporated into my new place. But I'm going to have a whole new look with how I store my book collection, and I'm very much excited for that. So I think that's it for today. Hopefully I will be around here and there over the next few months. I'm not going to promise any certain kind of consistency because as soon as I do that, I will disappear for another 6 months. So I hope you guys enjoyed me popping in. I really missed creating book content, and I decided, even though I had no really extra free time tonight, that I wanted to take like 20 minutes to sit down and do this and talk to you guys, update you, let you know I'm still alive, still reading, just not really posting online. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for your support and sticking around on my channel. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.